it go take 300 years for Nigeria to build the basic infrastructures wey go help human development. Akinwumi Adesina, President, African Development Bank. Now you talk this way, I just tell you. Before I give you the gist in detail or in full, I beg. E get one misconception I want make you clear today, once and for all. Una dey hear me? And the person will help us clear that misconception. Now, one man, what do they call? Mike Ozokeme, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Fellow Nigerians, I beg, listen to Mike Ozokeme. I'm gonna watch.
Let me very quickly correct one historical profanity. One historical profanity. Because by the grace of God, I'm not just a lawyer. I'm an historian and an archivist. And things must be put in historical perspective. Whenever I hear people say the 1966 coup was an Igbo coup, it is a lie from the pit of hell. It is not true. It was a coup led by dissatisfied, disgruntled Nigerians. There were 21 people in all, with the forefront leader being Major Kaduna Nzogu Chukwuma from Okpanam near Asaba in the present day state. Therefore, let me tell you that others who have always made them to say it was an Igbo coup were Major Emmanuel Ifeajuna, Major Chris Anuforo, Major Timothy Onwatuego, Major Humphrey Chukwuka, Major Don Okafo, Captain Ben Bullier, Captain Emmanuel Mwobosi, and Captain Ogbu Oji. These were the 7 Igbos. But now, let us look at the list of the coup players. We have Major Adewale Ademoyegun. He was Yoruba. He's the one who authored the book, Why We Struck. We had Captain G. Adeleke. He was Yoruba. We had Captain Fola Oyewole. He was Yoruba. Who authored the book, The Reluctant Rebel. We had Lieutenant Aru Egbiko. He was Asian from our own Edo State. We had Lieutenant Tijani Kasina. He was Hausa Fulani. We had Lieutenant O. Olafe Mio, Yoruba. We had Captain Gibson Jalo. He was of the Middle Belt. We had Lieutenant Pope Harris Egaga. He was an Urobo man. We had Lieutenant Dag Waribori. He was an Ijoman. We had Second Lieutenant Saleh Dambo. He was Hausa. And we had finally Second Lieutenant John Atom Bera. Many of you knew him as a military administrator. He was of TV extraction. They were 21. So whenever you hear people say it was an Igbo coup in 1966 that removed the Senate and the entire National Assembly, tell them it is historically incorrect. It's not correct.
Mike Ozokeme, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, talk inside that video where you just watch now. Say, contrary to the popular belief by many people, say the 1966 coup, say na Igbos carry am out. Say na lie. Say na lie from the pit of hell. Say inside 21 people we carry out that coup, now only 7 people be Igbos. Others na Hausa, Yoruba, Fulani. You understand? Middle belt. All of them come together and then carry out that coup. Now bad belly people carry out that coup. All of them are Nigerians. You understand? Not be any particular tribe carry out that coup. So I beg, going forward, because some of them don't believe say Nigeria started to spoil from that 1966 where they carry out that coup, shut down our National Assembly, install military government. Say na that time Nigeria started to spoil. Say na Igbos, na them start. I beg, you don't hear that that correction now from Mike Ozokeme, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Not be anyhow person tell you. Now Senior Advocate of Nigeria come out now, come clear this misconception. When I hear the names where him call for that video, you understand? as he take call all the names, 21 of them. Now only 7 inside that 21 be Igbos. Others outside dey there, Yoruba dey there, Fulani dey there. Una dey hear me? Rather than calling it an Igbo coup, I beg, call it a Nigerian coup. And na bad belly people. Now them run. Now back to our gist. 300 years to build basic infrastructures to develop Nigeria. Make I build one foundation like that now. We go help you understand why it go take 300 years for me and you to live a better life in Nigeria. Una remember saying that on top this channel, I got on and say the Nigeria Debt Management Office, DMO, they been come outside and tell us say 96% of our revenue will be used to service our debt. And our debt now 77 trillion naira. 77 trillion naira now waiting our debt. Money we don't borrow. That is the sum total. So we go need 96% of our revenue. Anything we will generate, we go use 96% of that we will generate service our loan. So therefore, now only 4% now it remain for us to carry out capital projects. And according to World Bank, lowest human development index in the world, Nigeria carry 167 out of 174 as per the lowest human development index according to World Bank. Now why it will take us 300 years to develop basic infrastructures we go help life? When I mean basic infrastructure, una know now when I don't travel go advanced countries, things when I see for there, steady electricity, water, no steady water supply. You understand? Your road they go tile am, everywhere go fine. You understand? Everywhere go set, be like Europe. Say it go take 300 years. I beg, make it not be like I don't talk too much on top of this matter. Help me listen to Akinwumi Adesina, as him take analyze this thing. You understand? Even give us some solution what we supposed to follow. Una dey hear me? So listen to Akinwumi Adesina, the president of the African Development Bank.
According to Nigeria's Debt Management Office, Nigeria now spends 96% of its revenue servicing debt, with the debt to revenue ratio rising from 83.2% in 2021 to 96.3% by 2022. Some will argue that the debt to GDP ratio at 34% is still low compared to other countries in Africa, and that is absolutely correct. But no one pays their debt using GDP. Debt is paid using revenue, and Nigeria's revenues have been declining. Nigeria earns revenue today to service debt and not to grow. The place to start, therefore, is to remove the inefficient fuel subsidies. Nigerian fuel subsidies benefit the rich, not the poor. Fueling theirs and government's endless fleet of cars at the expense of the poor. Estimates show that the poorest 40% of the population consume just 3% of petrol. Fuel subsidies are killing the Nigerian economy, costing the economy of Nigeria $10 billion alone in 2022. Now that means that Nigeria is borrowing what it doesn't have to borrow for. If it simply eliminates these inefficient subsidies and uses the resources well for national development. Your Excellencies, there's also an urgent need to look at the cost of governance. The cost of governance in Nigeria is way too high and should be drastically reduced to free up more resources for development. Nigeria is spending very little on development. Today, Nigeria is ranked among the countries with the lowest human capital development index in the world, with a rank of 167 among 174 countries globally, according to the World Bank 2022 Public Expenditure Review Report. To meet Nigeria's massive infrastructure needs, according to this report, we require $3 trillion by 2050. According to the report, at the current rate, it will take 300 years to provide the minimum level of infrastructure needed for Nigeria's development. all living Nigerians today and many generations to come will be long gone by then.
When I don't hear what him talk, Akinwumi Adesina will be the president of the African Development Bank. Him don't talk and finish. He says solution day. Number one, we will cut down on the cost of governance. The cost of governance is too much. It's too much. We will cut it down. And then we go come off fuel subsidy. When I hear what him talk inside that video, say fuel subsidy. Now only the rich is the favor. He know the favor the poor. In fact, he even give statistics. He talk say now only 3%. 3%. Now in the poor inside this country they consume 3%. The other 97% now the rich they consume more. So the fuel subsidy, he know the benefit the poor. Why not remove it? But my problem with removing the fuel subsidy, when I hear Asim take talk, say they spent 10 billion naira last year. I be $10 billion last year to do it for on top fuel subsidy. Ona hear Asim take talk about me. My problem I say, if they come out this money, if they come out this fuel subsidy, they go still loot am. They go still loot am this fuel subsidy now. If government come out am today, instead of to channel it to pay off our debt and reduce our borrowing, they go share am. They go reloot am. Una dey hear me? Now my problem with that. But solution dey. If we can maximize, remove the subsidy, fuel subsidy. If you can maximize the money where they come from that angle, and then cut down the cost of our governance, things go better. Maybe this 300 years where they talk now, una dey hear me? E no go reach 5 years or 10 years. We go stabilize with infrastructures. Very simple. These people, they know the solution, but they don't want to follow that solution. Their own is me, my family, and I. They don't finish. Nothing concern them with Nigeria. Headache, they catch them. Pew! Europe. They want shit. They fish shit for Nigeria this morning. Afternoon, they go Europe, go shit for afternoon. Una dey hear me? So, it's none of their business. To run this country, very simple. They know the solution, but because of their greed, of their pockets, of their stomach, they don't want to do the right thing. So, fellow Nigerians, now the gist I carry come for una today. If you don't learn anything for wetin I talk today, I beg. That misconception say na Igbos carry out that 1966 coup, I beg na lie. Na Nigerian coup and na bad belle people na then carry them out. You wanna hear me? And secondly, I beg, if you go church today, help us pray. In fact, after the church, keep the pray. Say, look, we don't need to wait for 300 years to develop like other countries when we have the resources. May God help us pursue bad government come out. May the government, you understand, that will bring about a new Nigeria come on board. May God, I beg, listen to our prayers. Una dey hear me? Thank you very much. I go say una later. I beg, if you like this update, subscribe to my channel. I beg, because Ejo da Allah. Subscribe.